Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Nadine. I'm making sure the camera's working correctly or appears to be working correctly. Um, it is Monday, October 21st, and I wanted to do it. I might pull like a card or two, but what I really wanted to talk about was uh, the violet flame. And at closing of my videos, I try to send out that the energy, the healing power of the violet flame. And I there's a 30-day challenge online on a website, and I'm gonna put the link in in the description of this video. And for any of you, I know that I've come a long way, in my journey, in this ascension journey, in this twin flame journey. If you guys are with a twin flame, then journey of ascension, then um, you go through these dark times, labeled the dark night of the soul, and there's many of those, there can be more than one, it's not just one. You go through these tower moments, and then after the tower, there's, there's the next step is to pick yourself up, something falls, you fall, you pick yourself up, um, and how long it takes you to pick yourself up, it depends on the person, depends on um, your level of spirit, your level of faith, and and at the moment, even what you have going for you at the moment, are you do you feel down in the dumps? Do you feel alone? Connection with people, um, to have human connection and to have a bond with somebody is is a very important part of life and getting through this through our days. um I don't watch much TV anymore, um but this morning I put the TV on really quick, and like I said, that's just out of my kind of norm, but it was probably on for 15 minutes or so. But in that 15 minutes, I saw like I only saw the highlight of a story in the news about someone who walked into a high school, and I believe they were gonna, start shooting up the school or something, and a coach um, stopped it from happening. Was able to talk to this person. I don't know if the person was a kid or maybe just out of high school or an adult. I didn't even to me it didn't matter. Okay, to me it didn't matter. And you can watch the story, maybe it's interesting to know if it was an adult, or what the story was behind. But I didn't watch the whole story, but the what the whole point of the story was so touching because this coach um was able to, you see it in the camera, they have it on camera, they have the video, and you see the coach, you know um not really struggling. It's kind of like a little struggle, but the arms around the shooter, and then there's another guy, and he takes the gun away. He's like pulling the gun away slowly. Not from his hands. It's like a long rifle thing, and it's he has it the end of the rifle on the floor. He's kind of like he's pulling it. He's dragging it in his direction away from the potential shooter. And I heard the highlight. They were just introducing the story coming up next, and the guy said, it that's not even in the amazing part of what of the coach putting a stop to that potential shooting, but it's what the coach did after. And the way I saw the coach holding this person, it was it was more of an embrace. It wasn't a struggle. It wasn't like he was trying to hurt. And see, I get emotional. I get this to my grandma. She's passed already to the next life, and but she would get so emotional, and then she could like clear up in a second. I can do that. I do the same thing, But back to the story, it was an embrace, more of a, like the coach was trying to hurt this person or tackle him down to the floor. And again, I didn't stay to watch the whole story. It was a highlight of what would be coming up after the next commercials. But the message that got to me was in the coach's mind, which is lucky for all of those students, there. And then the message to the potential shooter was the coach had enough compassion in his heart to look past the, some might say it was an evil deed, a bad deed, a low vibrational act. He would, this coach was able to look immediately beyond that and to the heart of this person. This is a person. This is a person obviously not feeling loved, not getting enough love, and the talking of the coach, and again I'm gonna say you may disagree with me if you see the video, but it was more of an embrace, not a struggle, not he was trying to hurt him, not he was trying to tackle him or wrestle him down. It was more of an embrace, it appeared to me, and it just made me think that for that coach to be able to see that love put a stop to this potential event that would cause so much pain. And we really need to honestly try, if you're serious about making an impact on this earth, about making an impact on your own life and turning it around, if you're not completely content with this world and what it is about and what society is pushing on us to believe is important, there's that 30-day challenge. Switching up again, there's that 30-day challenge in it, and it's step by step. It's free. It's just a 30-day challenge. You send your email, they send you an ebook about the violet flame, and they send you directions on how to do this 30-day challenge. And you it's more like just 15 minutes a day. You sit in meditation, and they give you a decree, something to say over and over. A decree is something you say over and over until it changes, the way your mind works and believes. Oh, I don't know why I'm getting emotional again. It's just the amount of love that coach had, the lives he most likely did save. Um, and I think I'm feeling the pain of the potential shooter. What loneliness that person. And then you think of all the shootings, what loneliness these people may have felt and unloved for who knows how long. Or medications. Medications are a big part of these past shootings. I read it in an article how it is not exposed how a lot of these children shooters, teenage shooters, are on medications like Adderall and depression med, ADD medication. And I'm a firm believer that medication for ADD and such is not necessary. I'm a firm believer. I'm not going to say for every case, because every person is different, every case is different, and the extremity of each case is different. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to say, but I'm a firm believer that love and patience and truly listening to somebody's feelings, can change their the course of their life, change the course of your life. So I'm just inviting everybody to click on the link that I'm gonna put at the description box. It's 30 days, and it says it's a challenge for you to do this 15-minute meditation a day, to sit focusing, embracing, harnessing in, invoking the power of the violet flame, this miraculous gift that God had has given to us at this time. This hasn't always been available to the general public, so to speak. People like it's. I think I read it was like in past times it was only for ascended masters. It was only a power that was that ascended masters and higher beings had were able to use or see or grab or harness or invoke. And now, in these times where it's a time of mass ascension, meaning for a lot of many people, millions, hundreds of thousands of people are waking up at the same time and realizing there's more to life than what society is showing us. There's more to life than fashion, than money, than these earthly, these superficial, you know, um, things that surround us. Um, so I challenge you to do that by that 30-day challenge. I'm gonna do the challenge. Again, I have been watching decrees, watching videos. I'll listen to the Violet Flame. I'll call on the Violet Flame. But these have like decrees you can say over and over again, and little special opening and closing prayers, to do. And I'm gonna do it because it says, "Watch the way it'll change your life." It has examples of testimonies, people who put their people who put their input on or their experience with the violet flame and how it changed their life. So I'm gonna put that on the description box, and I challenge all of you, because just the message that I got today out of that whole video was very touching. And honestly, I'm working on myself, but I know I'm far from where I have to be. In my eyes, I'm far. They always say, in the spiritual realm, you would be surprised, the light that you carry, and how far you've come. Sometimes we, as humans, I'm gonna pull a crystal angels and a fairy. Um, no, crystal angels and a Saint Michael. Um, we would be surprised at how bright our light is, or we would be surprised at how the angels look upon us with love, because as humans, we see and we know the things that we have done. We know the feelings inside of us that dwell. There can be envy, there can be jealous, there can be resentment. All these feelings that we learn that are not healthy for us. I'm not gonna say they're not good, because we're human. Those are human emotions, okay? So, can't say we don't have them, but it's what we do when we do have them, okay? When those feelings do come up, what do we do with them? Do we feed into them? Do we start plotting our next move based on these feelings of resentment, on these feelings of lack, or do we transmute them? Do we find ways to transmute these negative energies? And that's exactly what the violet flame does. It transmutes. It makes darkness into light. Okay, so I'm doing the challenge, and I invite all of you to do the challenge. And if you know anybody who is on this journey, or not even on this journey, maybe not even aware um, of ascension and just Gaia, the new earth, the changes that are coming about, but somebody, people who are just struggling in life. It can be financially, it can be in the home, it can be in marriage, it can be in career. This violet flame is, I'm telling you, superb. It's miraculous. I don't even have it in my vocabulary to explain. This violet flame has the power to do anything, to transcend, to transform, to transmute. anything and improve any part of your life. And during this challenge, it says to focus, make a decision on what exactly do you want changed, or transformed in this 30-day challenge. Focus on that one thing through the 30 days, and do the challenge. And like I said, pass the information of the violet flame on, mention it to people who you believe, who you not only not know and love, that you don't have to know and love them. Say you're talking to a stranger on the bus. Maybe you're maybe it was in your path that day, if you are the type that talks to, a person who just looks less fortunate than yourself, and pass on, in a sentence, you should call on the violet flame. If you don't feel too weird, I don't feel too weird doing that. I would do something like that. I just would. Turquoise is the crystal card that we're gonna read today. Biggest the message here I wanted to get is get out, look up, take that challenge of the violet flame, and as much whenever you feel it in your heart and you have, it's comfortable enough for you, pass on the um the knowledge, the information, the possibility of what this violet flame can do for somebody else's life, when you see a possibility for it to help someone. Okay, because really you're just that good karma. It transmutes bad karma. And for you sharing that information, you're impacting somebody else's life in a grand way, and that good karma, that light, is just going to come right back to you tenfold. Okay, so turquoise, spiritual path. Your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. It's a very beautiful, fitting card, I believe. Okay, your your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you. How I feel every day, and I was gonna say, I've been going through this, the twin flame journey. You go through um your darkest, you go through, your heart just honestly just feels like it's ripped out of your chest, and you don't know how you're going on. And when you come to the point of being able to forgive and see past, and no longer feel like my heart was ripped out of my chest. This was done to me. When you um, go forward on this path and keep going and keep searching for answers, and you get to that point where you can see now that wasn't done to you, it was done for you. Um, I still, I've gotten to that point. I know it was done for me. I know without my counterpart. I know without other people um kicking me down. I felt like I was being kicked down, like I was not being supported, not loved, not believed, not, and just, I felt back then like I was just treated so unfairly, and my and the plans of my life just ripped away from me. That's the way I felt at times. And now I know it was all for my good. In the long run, it was for my good, because now I'm here at this spiritual point in life. Now I'm open. Now I am aware. I wasn't even aware of the violet flame at that point in my life. I wasn't reading cards at that point. I was nowhere near this. So I know that all of that was done for me. Okay. um but still, um I can still wake up some days, and still I haven't lost those memories yet. Okay, of this was my plan, this was my partner, this is how I thought my life was gonna go, and now I don't even, we're not even in regular contact at all. I don't know what's going. Am I gonna, I have to be honest. I feel sometimes like, am I gonna ever find love? Do I go forward? I get it though. I'm human. We're all human. We have those aspects, of of wanting that loving connection, okay, with somebody. So, um, this violet flame can help. Um, knows? I was gonna say I can erase those memories. Who knows? Maybe it can. I believe I read somewhere in one of the description things or the links that I had already posted down that it makes joy, darkness into light and sadness into joy. It has the power to do that. That's how powerful of a gift God has given us. Okay. Okay, stop rambling. Turquoise, spiritual bath. This card comes to you because you've been praying and meditating about your spiritual path. You may be feeling conflicts with your true beliefs, wondering whether to take a traditional or alternative route. Perhaps you have been studying or attending different religious and spiritual groups, trying to see where you fit in and find other people aligned with your values. Your religious upbringing and family culture are factors here. Your religious upbringing and family culture are factors here. While you would like to make your spiritual path decisions independently, you find yourself influenced by your past. You also want to make the right choices that is best for your soul, and you do recognize that some traditional beliefs have merit. Even when people have the same religious faith, they have different interpretations. It's unlikely that any two individuals agree on every aspect of religion or spirituality because it's a deeply personal experience. Your life lessons continue to shape your beliefs, so keep praying and following your guidance. Finding people who have similar or complementary beliefs, even if they're not identical, can lead to deep friendships and help you navigate your own spiritual path. This card can also be about a relationship that is experiencing conflicts because partners have different religious or spiritual convictions. This is a challenging situation for both people and it needs to be handled with prayer and often with counseling. So, about turquoise. This, sorry, I'm sniffing up. Um, about turquoise, this beautiful greenish blue stone associated with sacred Native American jewelry is one. I gotta sneeze. Sorry about that. With sacred this beautiful greenish blue stone associated with sacred Native American jewelry is one of the oldest recorded mined gemstones. Archaeologists have found turquoise jewelry and ornamentation ornamentation in Egypt dating back to 5500 BC. 500 BC. Turquoise stones bridge heaven and earth. I never knew that. Turquoise stones bridge heaven and earth and bring sweetness and pure love into your spiritual and religious practice. That's beautiful. I am going to get a turquoise stone. They bridge heaven and earth and bring sweetness and pure love into your spiritual and religious practice. So maybe somebody need to hear this. I know that with myself and my family, um, not everybody knows, that I do this. I'm gonna say very, very few people in my family know that I read cards because it is a Catholic family, and then I have other family members where they are Christian background religion, and it's the closed-mindedness of religions. Um, and those two religions are are two of the religions that have very close-minded views on spiritualism. I've always heard before, the saying how people will say, "I'm not religious, I'm spiritual." I never quite understood it, but I am understanding it now. Um, I was born and raised Catholic. I am starting, although there's not anything in the Catholic religion that I don't agree as far as the teachings that I don't agree with. Um, I believe in all of their teachings. I just believe that, um, and that's in the traditional teachings. Okay, traditional teachings. I know that I believe, because I know in my family I hear this. You know how they do not believe. They believe that being homosexual, is a sin. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And it was a while back that um, I think I was in high school when I heard a story about a 12 or 13-year-old girl hanging herself because she was gay, and whatever reason, whatever she, you know what, it might have been a girl or a boy. For some reason, I want to say it was a girl, and for have so much shame that they couldn't change those aspects of them, or those emotions inside of them, to 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 identify a strength, that they ended their life. And I'm sorry, I'm a mom. I'm so emotional today. I'm so emotional. I'm a mom, and from the beginning, I have two daughters, and I've told them, I don't care what you, I love you unconditionally. So it was back then, and I know it was like when I was in high school. That's when I had always heard, growing up in the family, being gay is not right. That's a sin. It's a big sin. God didn't intend that. And until I heard that story, all it took was for me to hear that story, and no, I knew right then and there, there's no way that God wanted that child and their life because of the sexual orientation that they had. There's no way. So at that moment, I never told my family, but at that moment, I made it in my. I knew in my heart that that wasn't right. That was, one belief or one teaching that a majority of Catholics. I don't know if it's the church also, if it's the whole church. I've never even looked into it, because some things you just know in your heart. I don't need to look into. I didn't feel the need to look into the church and do they really say this. I knew in my heart what I felt, and I felt that's not right. That's not right. No way can God create such a child and expect it to be shamed so much that they end their life. So I'm sorry, I'm sniffing. I don't have tissue right now, and I just want to. I'm gonna pull one more angel, one more card, and it's Saint Michael card. Okay, Saint Michael, can you close out this video? What do we need to hear? What kind of guidance do you have for us today as a collective, if anything? Saint Michael, because we're very close to the Saint Michael. I love my new crystal cards. I love this. I love everything. I love that. Uh, you guys would be surprised at the situation that I'm in the 3D world right now with my daughters. Things are not stable. Things are not as far as materialistic things, and just but we need to practice on being grateful for what we do have. If anything comes up. I don't know if I'm just way too emotional right now. That way. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Okay? Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. That's kind of like what the story I just shared. The truth to myself in that story was, this does not feel right. That's my truth. That's what I felt in my heart. I did not have to go through my parents at that younger age and say, is it okay if I don't believe that homosexuality is a sin against the church or a sin against God? Is it okay? I I admitted the truth to myself. These are my feelings. This is what feels right in my heart. And acting accordingly to me back then was going forward from that day on, knowing my truth. And my truth was, I'm not gonna judge against. I'm not gonna look. And we shouldn't be judging anybody anyway. That's God's job to do, right? That's God's job to judge us. And we don't have a frightening God. We have a loving God who gives us all the resources that we need to come back to the light where He wants us to be. Okay? Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. You've drawn this card because there's an important feeling that you've been trying to ignore. Yet, try as you might to push it aside, this feeling urges you to be honest with yourself. Archangel Michael says that facing this truth will be healing and it will give you the direction and guidance you seek. You've tried to disregard your inner urging because you're worried about making life changes. Archangel Michael reassures you that he's guiding you and making sure that your needs are met and your relationships stay healthy. Possible specific meanings: heal or leave an unhealthy situation. Um, Another one, don't compromise. Another possible meaning, face your fears. And then another one, hold loving thoughts about yourself and this situation. Prayer. I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. Okay, so both these cards kind of have that inner work, the inner truth, face your inner truth. And they both, whatever that inner truth is, this one has to do with spiritual. Maybe some of you, like I was just saying, uh, you have this strong religious background, and then you, I know for Catholics, if you change, that's another thing. You don't change religions. You don't leave the Catholic Church. You just don't do that. Uh, that is another great sin. I'm not saying I'm leaving the church. However, I'm saying if I did leave the church, I would not see it as a great sin. I would see it as evolving spiritually to a higher, just a higher level of understanding. Again, there's being religious and there's being spiritual. I read somewhere in a book one time. I'm gonna close it now, but really quick. I read it one time in a book where religious people will like die for their church before they change, before they open up their mind and change their what was it? Die for their church before they die for God, or I don't know what it was. I don't know what I forgot, but when you are loving your church more than you are loving God, God. Think about it. Think. It is one thing that coexists. I think about it. God made all of these religions, so you can only embrace everybody else's belief and share the love. Okay. Okay, that'll be all. I'm sending you all love, light, and Violet Flame Healing. Okay. Have a wonderful Monday. Bye.